Hello there, my beautiful internet friends. Today we have a special video and it's gonna start with you. I want you to think of every anime that your weeaboo brain can perceive. I'm talking every TV show, every movie, music videos, commercials. Every single time a Japanese person has begun to craft some kind of animation, all of those anime, or at least the ones that are on my anime list, have been compiled into a database that I'm going to select from at random and talk about those shows here today. Also, shout out Lextorius. I basically got the inspiration from this video from him. Not that he's the first person to do a randomizer like this, but I'm literally using the one he created, so worth a shout out. And here we are. I'm almost kind of nervous. Like, I feel like dedicating a main channel video to potentially random ass anime could go a lot of different ways. So we'll just see what we get here. Let's see what we get. It's Aoharu Kikanjuu. Hotaru Tachibana has a strong sense of justice and cannot help but confronting those who choose to perform malicious acts. Furthermore, Hotaru is actually a girl who likes to disguise herself as a boy. I've never heard of this anime. The synopsis sounded AI generated, but I'll give it a shot. As with any anime, I go in hopefully liking it. If I drop it after episode 1, I'll talk about my thoughts, but if I make it all the way through, I make it all the way through. Alright, I just watched the first episode of Aoharu Machine Gun, as its English name. And I was so confused about what I was watching because whenever you're watching anime, it doesn't take long to get the idea of what the show is. By the poster or the opening, you know, oh, is there a lot of fan service? Is it that kind of show? Is it ecchi? Is it a high school romance? Is there teenagers being sad all the time? Is it just a shonen action for boys series? All that can usually be determined by the end of the first episode. But I'm only going to be talking about the first episode because I am unfortunately dropping Aoharu, because the first episode mainly introduces these two characters right here. Hotaru, who is sometimes badass, sometimes he's like nerdy and quirky. I really was struggling to find the tone for this character. And then we have Sea Dog's VA's avatar picture right here. Very badass, very cool guy. And the opening had all these guns and people shooting and action, and I was like, oh, so this must be like maybe a crime mafia type show. And then at some point I finally realized this show is about airsoft guns. But if there's a reason I'm dropping the show, it just didn't seem that interesting. The fact that it's like so far down ranked on my anime list isn't a big jumping off point for me either. So that is where my journey with Aoharu ends. Next up on the randomizer, we got Kujira. What? This is an 8-minute movie from 1927, almost 100 years old. It is a lost film by Ofuji Noburo. Alright, so this is the 1952 remake of Kujira. The 1927 film I cannot find on my own internet search, and no one has logged it in on my anime list, so I can only assume it was either lost to time or I do not have access to watching it. However, I just watched the 1952 version of this film. I can like smell the dust like coming from my speakers right now. It's moving great. I've actually seen a decent amount of films from like the earliest points in anime when I was on like a weird kick of that for a while. And the first thing I want to talk about is actually the film's creator, Ofuji Noburo. He worked a lot with silhouette animation, which is all over this film. He was a big deal. There's actually a film award named after him. And if you look at these scores over here, obviously his films haven't stood the test of time, but don't ever let these numbers fool you. He put in work and changed the game for anime in a big way. This was actually the first anime, or any sort of Eastern animation, that was at Cannes Film Festival. I've watched a lot of other really old-ass anime, and I really had a hard time struggling to even understand the themes or what was happening on screen with some of them. But with Whale, I completely understood, okay, we're on a boat, There's a group of not so great individuals who are partying and they're shipwrecked, and there's 3 men and 1 woman, and it goes about as badly as it could in that scenario. Where's this film going right now? But then the survivors are then attacked by a whale. The whale actually fights off the men and saves the woman, and it is implied that she becomes a mermaid. What relationship do you have with this whale? End. Sure. Like many films, it is a critique on the evil of man and the terrible things we can do, and taking the side of nature and innocence, and it's not that complicated. But again, 1927, or even if this version came out in 1952, still, the animation always kept moving, it always stayed fluid, and I'm glad the animation historians have kept it around long enough that dumbasses like me can clog their My Anime list up by watching them. And yes, I'm giving the film a 4 out of 10. That is because my tastes are completely subjective. If I was giving brownie points for being very historic, the film being game-changing, being a part of history, being all those things, yes, of course, I would rate it very highly, but I can't put myself in those shoes of a person watching this film in 1927 or 52. I can only give my opinion watching this 10-minute film, and it wasn't a positive one. But I appreciate learning the history, I appreciate learning the craftsmanship, and that's what truly counts, and I hope you got a little bit out of that experience too. We have completed Kujira. Alright, one more anime to close out the video. What we gonna get? It's a music video. A recent one. Alright, I'm about to become one of the 112 people who have watched this music video. Alright, it's already kind of a tasty jam. Just an anime demon girl living in a world of NPCs. I know what that's like. A colorless Rubik's Cube. Oh, the irony. No, not too bad of a jam, you know? Ooh. Is there a demon anime boy? Okay. Go! Fulfill your destiny! She's feeling all these emotions now. Her glass is breaking, the real world has emerged! Oh my god! That's actually really pretty. I like that. Oh, and it's just filling. The Rubik's Cube colors are filling everything now. Hi. Alright, that was an adorable little music video. I'm not familiar with the artist before, but obviously she's done like a plethora of anime themes. It seems like she's worked primarily with ReZero. I'm not a ReZero kind of guy. I did find it on Apple Music. I had to, use my hiragana knowledge to find it, but I'll give it more of a thorough listen. But as far as a music video, it's cute. This is actually the only thing the studio, Flying Ship Studio, has done, so I assume it's just a guy who worked his ass off on this project, and if that is the case, he fucking killed it. But I actually like the song. It's not too far out of my wheelhouse within the J-pop rock electronic realm. I can see myself actually listening to the song on its own. The music video is stylish, it has an idea of a story, and it encapsulates the feelings and the energy of the music, and that's all I could ever ask a music video to do. It's not like an animation showcase. I wasn't blown off my ass or anything, but I'm gonna remember this cute little girl and the interesting visuals that accompanied the video. But anyway, that is Hitori Iro. I'm going to give this one a very strong 7 out of 10. Very much enjoyed this one. But that was our anime randomizer. We had an average anime that I dropped. We had a little historical piece of animation from 1950 and an adorable little music video. I think that's a pretty good selection of random titles. I enjoyed making this video. I hope to do another one soon. Hopefully in the future I'll get more series that I actually want to dedicate myself to and actually craft a more purposeful analytical video. But I'm also fine just shooting the shit, talking about some fun music videos and stuff, so I hope you enjoyed this. In the description I have my anime list as well as my Twitch and a lot of the other social media that I'm on. I would appreciate you following those, and of course subscribe to this channel. It would mean the world to me. We talk a lot about anime on this channel and other nerdy things that I'm sure you'll like. Thank you as always, and until next time, with that, I leave you.